Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another PT review. If you've been at the wine cellar, you know that I usually will do these every blue moon, but life has a way, and I've been very, very busy and very, very booked. And I apologize if I sound a little bit under the weather because it is the unfortunate cold and flu season. I am coming off the end of a cold myself, but you are not here to hear me lament about how my throat sounds like I smoke cigarettes. You are here because you want to learn more about Ultros, a psychedelic Metroidvania with a little bit of roguelike elements that's coming out February 13th for the PlayStation console, along with PC on Steam and Epic. Now, some of you got to watch me play this live, and I enjoyed myself live. Offline, it's no different. There's just so much here that I want to talk about, but let's talk first and foremost about a lot of the things, technically speaking, that are in there that I really enjoy. Then it'll just be me gushing, and you'll get to watch the rest of the video. So as I mentioned, this is a Metroidvania in the truest of true forms, where your map opens as you explore stuff. There's going to be places that you go to that you can't reach it until a later time frame, and you're going to have to backtrack, you're going to have to look at things, and you're going to have to remember where locations are, but your map is always accessible, so it's not the worst thing in the world. It's really not the worst thing in the world. The combat feels really good. I really enjoy how the cortex works. So you start out with your typical 2 to 3 piece combo, and your cortex is how you level up. And you level up your cortex to get new moves, more health, more attack power, additional things on the map that will help you kind of traverse and bookmark where things are, such as where hordes are located or where gardens and seeds can be planted. And there's just a lot of different utility and versatility that's weaved within the cortex to make your life much more engaging as you're playing through the game. While we're talking about combat, something I want to give kudos to Kowloon on, I think it's Kowloon actually. Something I want to give them kudos on a little bit is making a Metroidvania that does not make me want to bash my head against the wall. Let me explain. We have this kind of tendency to have Metroidvanias that when you get to a stuck point, you start understanding that you have very limited options available to you. Either A, you have to backtrack to see how you went into the wrong area. B, you have to grind and hope that you can level stuff up so you can kill things better. Or C, you have to backtrack to see if there's something that you missed in terms of an item or a key item that'll help you with traversal or maybe even breaking walls and other stuff. With Ultros, you don't get a lot of that. Like, sure, you have moments where you won't be able to pass rustic gears because you need to have a seed on hand. Or maybe you won't be able to reach a certain location because you don't have a double jump. But the game does a good job of being just open enough for you that it never really feels like you don't have somewhere to go or that you can't figure out where to go. This is a problem that I had a little bit when I played Metroid Fusion, because after you got into late game, there was just a lot of moments where I had to look at chat and say, why in the world would I have figured that out? And more specifically, why would I know that? With Ultros, I don't have that feeling, and it encourages you to experiment and try things so that you can make better traversal decisions. One of the ways that they do this is through the seed system. So the seed system, I think, is really, really interesting because obviously you plant seeds. That's what you do. There's gardens in some cases, and then there's like little glowing spots on the ground that you can see that indicates, hey, you can put a seed here. And each seed creates a different plant. There's some that just grow straight up, and you can actually use them to get up to higher locations later on in the game. There's some that they can become overgrowth in the ceiling, and they'll actually give you vines that you can swing from. And then there's even some that make little pools and rivers that initially when you look at it, you're just like, I mean, yeah, that's a river. That's cool, I guess. That's what we're doing. But then you'll notice that it actually will make the pool, and wherever the pool itself lands will actually continue more growth. And these things are all really important because it'll help you get to different locations. It'll help you access better locations. And all in all, it'll help you just in general by giving you more stuff that you can use, which goes into a little bit of the nutrient system. So I have been lovingly calling the stuff that you get from enemies you defeat squishy meats. If there's a formal name for it, I am sorry, but I will be calling them squishy meats because that's what they look like. And when you kill enemies, you can always get a chance at a prime one, which is usually obtained by doing a perfect combo. Now, not a perfect combo in the sense of you have to land every single hit, but a perfect combo in the sense of, hey, you made a combo that didn't repeat itself. So if you have like your 3-piece combo followed by your down X attack, followed by, or sorry, I say X because I use an Xbox controller on my PC. It would be, what is it, triangle, circle, X. It would be square on the PlayStation controller. Apologies. So let's say you do your 3-piece combo, then you do down square, and then you decide from the ground you do up square, and then you jump and decide to do up square again. All of those are different moves, and if you kill something with a string of different moves, that guarantees you prime squishy meats. And prime squishy meats will give you back more health because we stand not dying in our Metroidvanias. And it'll also give you better nutrients. And the nutrients are how you go back to the cortex to open up new skills. It opens up more health, more attack power, more useful things and iconography on the maps. It'll also give you better traversal, better movement. But the caveat of the entire game is that anytime you kill a boss, that is the end of a loop. So even though you've done all this work, you've planted all these seeds, you've cleared all this stuff, and then you kill a boss, your loop guaranteed will end because it will immediately send you to the next point of the story, and then you wake up at the beginning all over. And naturally, you don't have anything. But there's a few caveats. First and foremost, as you're traversing through the world of Ultros that looks like an absolute kaleidoscopic acid trip, as you're traversing, you can find these items called mycelium, and those will lock moves in so that every time you loop, you don't have to reopen those moves. Which, that's a very roguelike thing. That makes perfect sense. It makes all the logic in the world that they would offer something like that. And yes, I did immediately lock my dashes, and I locked my double kicks. No, I'm not taking questions on it at this time. But another thing that's nice is going back to those seeds that we were talking about. The seeds don't reset. Even though the NPCs you interact with might reset or might not know what's happening, with the exception of the Spectre who's trying to guide you, your seeds that you plant don't reset. So with each loop, you get to see them mature, and then you'll have bigger versions of plants you can stand on. Or, as I mentioned before, some of the plants that can grow and make vines, they'll continue to grow with every loop. So if you're waiting to get rid of an area that's infested with rustic gears that's blocking your path, if you complete a loop and come back, it's probably overgrown and it's opened up the next area. So I think it does a really good job of kind of helping filter and streamline the availability of content for the player. All in all, I've been enjoying the hell out of this. I really, really like it. I love the nutrient system. I love that the nutrients also function as your healing items, which really gives you a back and forth of, hey, should I heal right now? Hey, should I save this for when I go save? And then I can put it in the cortex to open up new skills. But then it really makes you think about what you want to open up, because once you get mycelium, you can start locking things. I love that there's variety in the stuff that you can plant. I love that all the plants offer their own unique attributes and capabilities. And then they offer their own things for you to eat, along with all the squishy meats that you can get prime or battered versions of. Getting battered stuff isn't the worst thing, but the prime versions, as you would expect, is just better. And you're traversing through a story of trying to understand why this other woman is the chosen one and trying to accept Ultros. Because you're not Ultros. I'm pretty sure Ultros is the end boss. This preview has 3 bosses in it. And it's going to be the Enraged Beast, Vasa the Huntress, and then some other guy who looks like things that I probably shouldn't say for a paid review. I shouldn't describe what he looks like. But nonetheless, if you like Metroidvanias with just a little lime squeeze of roguelike, I'd say you should pick up Ultros. It's really good. It's really good. It's really solid. Very, very fun. And again, it comes out February 13th on the PlayStation console along with PC for Steam and Epic. Make sure when you get it, you have to tell me in chat. I need to know these things. But even if you don't, I hope you enjoy your psychedelic ride.